Okay, so the Little Stevies are a band from Melbourne, Australia, and they are touring Canada at the moment, as a lot of Australian bands are doing, taking advantage of the summer months here in Canada. And I'm about to speak with Beth on the phone from the Little Stevies. Unfortunately, we just missed the band when they played here in Vancouver this week. The publicist was just a little bit out getting in contact with me because we weren't able to promo their shows because they've already been and gone, but not to worry, because you're going to learn all about the Little Stevies in preparation for their almost inevitable return, I'm sure, because everything I've read online about the band is that they're really making some waves, and they're really quite brilliant. And of course, anyway, you're listening online, you can still catch them on their tour because they're playing in central BC through Saskatchewan and Winnipeg, so fear not. And they just popped up on my radar here just in this last week. An email came through saying that they were touring around, and unfortunately we just missed being able to do this last week to promo their shows because they've actually had a couple of shows here in Vancouver. But not to worry, we're going to have a chat here with Beth from the band, one of the three members. She's going to tell you all about the Little Stevies and what they're up to here, all this way from home. Hello, Beth.
Hello.
Hi, you're live on air here. This is Stranded, the Australian-Canadian music show, live here in Vancouver. Thanks so much for calling through. Actually, the first thing I just want to ask very quickly, your name, are you inspired by Little Stevie right from the Easy Beats?
You know what? That's good guess actually, because everyone sort of asks us where the name comes from, and we say our last name is actually Stevens, so a lot of people think it comes from that, but pretty much we just want to follow in the footsteps of all the great Stevies, one of which was Stevie Wright.
Oh, of course.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, Stevie Wonder, and of course, there's a lot of Stevie. Yeah.
There is a lot of them. So we just, we thought that was a bit of a winning streak having that name. So, we just thought we'd go with it.
Ah, and when Stevie Wright, for the listeners who aren't familiar, was the singer of probably Australia's first real great pop rock band from the 60s wave, the Easy Beats. Friday on My Mind was their big track, and I'll play that sometime in the future, but for now we're talking to Beth here from the Little Stevies, and it's quite remarkable to read about your journey and your quite sudden success in the States. This is your second time back?
Yeah, actually. The start of the story came up. We went to America at the start of last year, and we spent a couple of weeks there, and we did a conference over there to showcase, and then we came back in September and October last year, and we spent a month in LA where we recorded our album, which we just released here in Canada like 2 weeks ago, called Attention Shoppers. And after we made the album, we came over to Canada and we did the OCFF conference, which was in Ottawa, and then we did another show of our own. So that was our first trip to Canada, basically, in October, and that went really well for us. So we just decided we wanted to come back, and now we're over here for 2 months and touring basically around your whole country. And we're crazily doing like this massive road trip over, through the prairies and the Rockies, basically from Vancouver back to Toronto. So it's pretty nuts, I think.
Well, I bet it's a well-worn track because this is what Canadian bands have to contend with, and you're definitely cramming it into the right months of the year.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're excited. I mean, because I think the long drives are similar to back home in Australia. It's sort of 8-10 hours between major cities. So, I mean, we're used to it, but it'll be great to see a whole other new landscape.
Yeah, and you're from Melbourne, so I imagine you played around as a three-piece in the inner city for a few years before your break overseas. How long was the gestation as the three of you?
We've been together for quite a while. Actually, we we started when we were in high school, and we basically grew up together. So it's my sister and I, and also our family friend Robin, who. Our parents were in a band when they were basically our age, and then they, years later decided to have babies that were us. And yeah, how family friends do. They sort of every time you have a family get together, you make up dance routines and plays and productions for your parents, and you make them sit through it. So it was basically that sort of a thing every sort of week, and then the music thing came up, and it just sort of stuck, really. So it was a three-piece for a few years, and then over the last maybe 3 years, we've started playing also with a drummer live. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to bring him with us, so we've actually recruited for half the shows over here a drummer who's an Aussie turned Canadian just recently, so he just moved over here.
Oh.
So we've hooked up with him, and it's been great so far, so yeah.
Oh, excellent. And how were the shows here in Vancouver?
They were really fun, yeah, it was great. We played at the Railway on Tuesday, I think it was, and then we also played at the Trees Organic Cafe last night, which was really fun. It was great.
Oh, wonderful. And definitely there's still a chance for folks to be able to see you, because people can be listening online here anywhere, really. And, well, I guess, are you in Kelowna right now, or...?
Yes, we're in Kelowna at the Minstrel Cafe, and we're playing in a couple of hours, and it's beautiful here. It's lovely.
Yeah.
We just sort of walked into this really, amazing restaurant, so we can't wait to play.
Oh, that's great. I've got here, 2 dates in Kelowna, tonight and tomorrow. Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan on the 25th of July, and Winnipeg on the 28th. And is that as far as you go, or I guess you fly out of Toronto then?
Yeah, well, no, we're actually here till the end of August. So after that, we do the Fire and Water Festival in Lac du Bonny, I think it's pronounced, sort of. And then we go to Sudbury, and we go then we base ourselves in Toronto, and we do a whole lot of satellite trips out and then come back. And we're also doing the Summer Folk Festival and the Ottawa Folk Festival as well. Yeah. Before we go.
Wow. It's wonderful. It's so excellent that you've been able to come here for the whole summer period. Well, I am talking to Beth from the Little Stevies, and this is your second album that you're playing songs from on the tour. You have the first album was Love Your Band, is that right?
Yes, that's right. That was made a couple of years ago, and then this one is called Attention Shoppers. Yeah. We put a lot of thought into the names of that album.
Well, the songs are beautiful. Like, just very. It's funny actually. When you phoned me about 6 o'clock, and I was just preparing a little special, and Nick Cave and the birthday party, and I couldn't. It shows how diverse in range Australian music is, from sort of the dark and solemn. I played some of that early birthday party noise, and to play the Little Stevies directly after that. Both from the same city, really.
Yeah, right.
So, 30 years apart, and it just goes to show that you're hitting something that's quite. It seems quite universal. I'm sure you're being very well received.
Yeah, no, it's been great. It's funny. Like, I was about to say Canada. I mean Canada. Canadian audiences, I think they're quite similar to back home. So, I mean, we sort of keep on picking up on a whole lot of similarities between the places and the people, really, between home. I mean, we're from Melbourne and over here. So it's, it's kind of comforting, and it's not as massive as a shock than it was, I guess, to go to America and sort of, see the audiences there and the way they react. So it's great. It's really great.
And just before we get back to a track, are you going back to the States as well after this, or back home and then maybe another time? Or
yeah, we're actually going home after this. We're just doing Canada, and then we'll probably head back to America, possibly early next year when we come back here and just see what happens. Gosh, anything could happen, really.
Absolutely,
very exciting.
Well, it's great to chat with you, Beth, and next time I'm sure I'll be able to come and see you, because I'll probably be aware. It happened so quickly that you guys came through, but not to worry. It's been great to chat, and yes. I thought I'd play the Feel It song.
Ah, yes, that'd be great.
Yeah,
we've got a pretty hilarious video clip that accompanies this song online. If anyone wants to check out a pop folk band doing a single ladies Beyonce-style dance routine.
Yeah,
So it is pretty hilarious.
It is. I've seen it. It's really cool. It's gutsy and it's very slick. I like it.
Oh, good.
Well, thank you, Beth. Beth from the Little Stevies from Melbourne and currently in Central BC. This is Stranded, the Australian Canadian music show, wherever you're listening in the world. And this will be podcasted, Beth, so I'll forward it to you guys.
Awesome. That'd be great. Thanks, Matt.
Okay. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the tour.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.